This is my second coffee for the day. God help me. Hello everyone and welcome back. So I know I look like a bit of a hot mess right now, but that's because I'm going to do like a half face of first impressions. I have enough things to do a full face, but I can't quite commit to doing everything. So I've decided to pull out a couple of things today and use them. So yeah, we have concealer, blush, bronzer, highlight, a foundation, eyeliners, a brow product, eyeshadow, and a concealer. I think I already said that, but there we go. We got some things to try. My hair looks like a big mess, but I'm going to do it after the video. I like to do my hair later. I went to sleep with my hair still a bit wet last night, so that's why it looks like a hot mess right now. So I'm going to zoom you guys in just a little bit, and I'm going to start on my eyes. Here we go. I've zoomed you in a little bit. I don't want to be too zoomed in because then I'm not able to move. So I'm going to start with my M.A.C Soft Ochre Paint Pot. This is pretty much the only eye primer that I use. There we go. So today I'm going to set it a little bit. Because I have a lot of self-tanner on, I don't want to use a white powder. So I'm just going to use a little bit of like this Model Co Invisible Matte powder instead. Okay, so that is all done. I have powder all through my eyelashes and it feels amazing. Okay, so my new eyeshadow palette of choice today is the Australis Halo palette. They released a couple of these, and this one's in the colour or the type Idolise. This I bought on clearance, so I don't think they're selling these anymore. But basically, this is the only one I could find out of all of them that had some matte shades in it. All the other ones were like all shimmers, and it's okay. I have palettes that are all shimmers, but I wanted one that had mattes in it as well. Just because I have never really tried Australis eyeshadows before. I've used their face powders and things on my eyes, but never their eyeshadows. So this has got a dark chocolate brown, a matte white, and like a milk chocolate brown. This skin tone shade here is shimmery, as is this shade. So basically these palettes were almost designed to give you the colours to do a halo smoky eye, I think. As my last palette first impression was the Crayola box of crayons one, and it was excessively bright, I thought I'd kind of tone it down and do my next one a neutral palette. So I really like this. The packaging's quite nice. The back has that matte feel like a NARS product, but without the rubbery feeling. The writing on the back is nice and big for you to see. Australis is cruelty free and they are vegan. I just like the packaging. I love the fact Australis uses the purple, and this is really nice and small. It'll fit in my makeup bag as well, so if I really like it then I can take it with me. Alright, so my grandmother's on the phone. Our phone just rang, so if you can hear her talking I apologise. But I'm going to take this great big fluffy brush. I'm not going to try anything extravagant like with a halo eye or anything like that. I want to see how these blend, so I'm sort of going to do like a messy-ish smoky eye, just a normal look today, because a lot of the looks I've been doing lately are cut creases and things like that. So I thought I'd do something just very basic because I'm trying these eyeshadows out for the first time, and to be completely honest, these colours don't really appeal to me to do a super intense bold look. So I'm just going to try something very simple today, mix it up. So with this fluffy brush, I'm going to grab this chocolate shade here. The actual shades themselves don't have names, which is fine. Okay, so it's on my brush and there's not a lot of powder kick up, so they seem to be a little bit of a drier formula, which is fine. And I'm just going to go in and basically use this as my transition shade. Okay, so you can't really see the colour on my eyes, which is also part of it, like, sort of the point of a transition shade. It's blending really nice though. It seems to be a drier formula. Not a huge amount of pigment on this shade, but so far it's looking nice. It's not super duper intense or anything like that, but I don't really care. So I'm gonna find a smaller brush. So I'm going to use this smaller fluffy brush. As you can see, it is a lot smaller than the one I used before. And I'm going to take the dark shade up here. I'm going to put this on my outer corner and through my crease. Depending on how dark or pigmented it is will depend on how dark I make it. I'm not looking for it to be excessively dark today, but enough to darken it up. So this seems to have a bit more pigment. It's a nice colour, but it's almost coming off black, which it's a very dark brown. I kind of assume that. Okay, so the shadows are obviously working, but they're not exactly what I imagined they'd be. Considering Australis's face products and everything are so creamy, and considering these were so popular amongst a lot of people I saw, shadows in this are quite dry. The two that I've used, they're quite dry. They don't have a huge amount of pigment, which is fine. Like, I will get used to using this because I have used so many eyeshadows in the past that are like this that I'm used to using it. But it's just considering Australis's other products are so creamy, these are not what I expected. In no way am I bashing the brand, in no way am I saying Australis is bad, because I have so many products of theirs that I absolutely love. Their banana powder, their Fresh and Flawless powder, like things like that I love, but it's kind of lacking on this product. So obviously, as you can see, it's on my eyes, it worked, it's blended and everything, but it's just not what I expected. So now, just to see, because I don't want the look to be too intense, I'm going to just take this flat end eyeshadow brush and the shimmery shade that's just here, and I'm just going to put that on my lid. Ooh, that seems to be a really nice creamy colour. And ooh, that is a nice colour. That's a nice shade. It looks really beautiful. That colour was actually really nice. It was super buttery and creamy and looks really beautiful. It swatches really nice. So I'll swatch the other two shades I've used, and yeah, they have nice pigment, but they feel really dry. That's the matte shade on this finger and the matte one on this one. As you can see, nice pigment, but they do swatch really dry. The shimmery shade, it's a beautiful colour, but I would probably more put like a Maybelline colour tattoo underneath it or something, because the shimmer is kind of disappearing a little bit. And there we go, my wings are done. This one I still want to get a tiny bit of here off. Rightio, so I've wet my sponge and I also have a brush here ready to go in case sponge doesn't work, because I'm trying a foundation today and I'm using the Rimmel Wake Me Up. I have never used this before. I've used the concealer quite a few times. It used to be my absolute favourite for years, And this is one of the only foundations that looks like it might actually match my tan. So this is in the colour 100 Ivory. And this foundation and the little fresh one they bought out in the tub with the blue lid, those are the only ones I haven't tried. So I don't want to try the other one because I just know it'll send me too oily. This one I'm a little bit worried because it says it's for normal skin. But it's an SPF of 20, illuminates for a healthy glow, medium coverage, 30 mils for dull skin. Now I'd say sometimes my skin is pretty dull. So I just bought this because I want to try it, because I tend to have pretty good luck with Rimmel foundations. They don't tend to last on my skin all day. They do kind of, I don't want to say they melt off, but I do go pretty oily with them. But I'm willing to try this. It says it illuminates skin with a light smooth texture for flawless and natural coverage with vitamin C and peptides, helps maintain skin elasticity, reawakens tired skin with an SPF 20. So I'm going to see if I can open this first and then we'll get into it. I like this packaging. It seems to be really nice. It's got Rimmel like embedded in the side, that way I think. Rimmel London. And it's got your colour on the front. I got 100 Ivory. They have another one, a colour that's number 10, and as far as I've seen, they don't have number 10 in this foundation. It might match my, it might be a bit too light, but it might be the right tone, which is good. Skin brightening foundation with vitamin C, orange lid. Does it come with a pump? The Wake Me Up line comes with the orange things, so I'm going to start with a sponge. This is the consistency. So it's enough that it runs, but it's not too thick. It smells like a Rimmel foundation, you know that smell that the, what's it called? The 25-hour one, the one with the red lid, that's what that smells like. Okay, so it looks really nice and smooth, it looks really skin-like, but I would not agree with the medium coverage. As you can see, it's definitely evened out my skin tone, but I'd say, no, I have medium coverage foundations and I can still see redness coming through. I can still see all the redness in my scars. I can still see all these scars and things down there. It's covered up the ones here, but I can still see all the ones here. I'm going to try a brush on the other side of my face just to see if I get better coverage or what. I tend to like applying Rimmel foundations with a brush. They tend to look really nice. So yeah, the Match Perfection and that 25-hour one, I tend to like applying them with a brush. They look really, like, it looks heavy when it goes on, but once it sets down it looks really skin-like. Okay, so it doesn't seem to be building up as much on my brush as what a lot of other foundations do. Like, my brush still seems pretty fluffy. Might be because I haven't used much product. I have to say, really, both sides look almost the same, but I'm just going to keep applying it with a sponge because it seems to be a little bit smoother. So usually Rimmel foundations I can apply either way. Okay, so it's building just fine, but it seems like it's staying almost at like a natural full coverage type of thing. I can still see like the big scars on my forehead. I can still see the big ones over here, but like basically all my redness is gone and things like that. So it's looking really nice on my face. It's looking kind of dewy, radiant, things like that. So I quite like it. It doesn't feel like it's a 30ml bottle. So I have here the Lasting Finish foundation, and this again is 30ml, and I've used about half of the foundation that's in here, and it still seems heavier than this bottle, which could be nice for traveling and things like that. But these, I have 3 of these in the same color. I also have here the Match Perfection. All 3 of them are in the color 100 Ivory, but I'm sure you can see all 3 of them are a different tone. Now I'm going to move on to concealer, and I have the MAC Select Cover Up Concealer. This is in NC15, and it might be too pale for me now, but I'm going to highlight my face and everything. I couldn't pass up on not having some high-end items in this. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze just a little bit out, because I don't know what the coverage is on this. I've seen people use this, but really only for like cutting your crease and things like that. I've never actually really seen anyone use it for concealer anymore. So I'm going to take some. This is about the normal amount I'd use, and I'm going to try it under my eye. So it looks nice, but that's got no coverage, almost. I knew this wasn't going to be extremely full coverage, but from what I've seen on other people, it has more coverage than this. And it seems to be blending in with the colour of my foundation. Like NC15 is like nice and brightening on me. I'm going to see if I can build it up just a little bit. I'm going to highlight my face as well. So like it's looking really nice and like radiant and smooth and things like that. But oh, it looks really nice on my nose. Sometimes concealers can look a bit choppy and chunky on my nose. But it's looking nice and like it's not emphasizing the texture underneath my eyes or anything, but it's got no coverage. So like in the past few years, I really haven't seen many people using this, and I deliberately didn't look up reviews because I didn't want to like turn myself off it. Now, just so I can pull my headband off, I'm going to do my brows with my e.l.f. brow kit like normal. Actually first, I have this, I don't know if this is a brow gel or what. It's labelled as a pomade, so I just want to open it and see first. This is the Australis Hold 'em Up Brow Taming Pomade. I bought this on sale ages ago. Again, don't know if they discontinued this or it just wasn't being sold, but I actually bought it thinking it was a mascara. I didn't read it. I just grabbed it and thought, oh, cool. But it's supposed to be a pomade, so I want to see if it's one of those like tattoo ones or whatever, but I think it's cute. It doesn't tell me what color it is, so we shall see. It's white. So is it supposed to be a gel? I'm going to try it as a gel. Not that I need a brow gel, but I just wanted to try it. I bought it thinking it was a mascara and it's not, so I thought I'm going to try it if I can find my bloody brush. Okay, so I filled my brows in and obviously taken my fringe down because that thing was annoying my head. So I'm going to use this as like a brow gel today. I don't really need a gel, like these stay on all day. My brows look a bit odd at the moment, that's just the brush I used. But this seems like really thick. Like I'll show you. And it just... yeah, like I have never seen something like this before. I'm gonna try it. It says it's a pomade. I was expecting it to be like something different. Unless this is what you put on before you put like a powder over the top or something. I tried googling it, but there was no like description. So I'm just brushing it really gently. Like in one way I kind of need a brow gel just to put my hairs down, but I find when they look a bit fluffy, it makes them look a bit more natural. It seems to be drying down a bit matte, which is good because sometimes this eyebrow kit can be a little bit glossy, particularly if there's a tiny spot where I miss the powder or something. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to blush, bronzer and highlight. Should I? Yeah. I was going to contemplate doing my eyes first, but I'll finish my face. So I have this Ministar professional makeup blush and contour kit. It's got a highlight and stuff in it too. This is in number 1. They have 3 different colors, but this is number 1. It looks like this. So I'm going to start with bronzer first, and I'm going to use the e.l.f. complexion brush and just a little bit of this bronzer because it seems to be quite orange. So I'm just going to tap in a little bit, and ooh, you get a lot of powder, so I'm going to tap that off. And it seems to be a really nice like a matte bronzer, so I'm going to try it. I'd rather put little bits on and then build it up rather than put too much on at once. So it does seem to be quite orange. I would not use that bronzer when I am fair at all, otherwise it'll just come up like a bright orange stripe on my face. But it seems to be it's really nice matte. It seems to be blending really nice. Yeah, like that's actually blending really nice on my face. Every bronzer highlights my like contour of my face there. I can't help it. I have a natural shadow on the sides of my face, and I've started to lose a bit of weight. I don't know if you can see, so my contours are just sort of highlighting, and no matter what I do, I can use my Too Faced bronzer and it'll still look like I've contoured there. So now for blush, and I'm just going to use the brush I always use for blush, and this is a really nice colour. It's like really, really nice. Again, this is matte. Seems to be picking up a lot of pigments. I'm going to tap some of it off and just put a little bit on. It looks a bit shimmery, but I had a shimmery blush on this brush first, but I'm just going to put a little bit on because I want to be a bit more bronze than blushy today. But that seems to be a really nice colour. I like the colour. And it's blending really well. And now I'm going to take my contour brush and the highlight that's in this palette and see how this goes. Now this is the biggest thing. That seems to be a little bit powdery, which I don't mind. This is going to be the true test. Oh, I tapped off too much. Okay, so it's emphasizing my texture a little bit, but I mean, look at that glow. I don't want to put too much on today, so I'm just tapping my brush on it. I'm going to finish off my eyes if I can find where the palette went. It's right here. So I'm going to take a pencil brush and the shimmery shade just here, the dark shade, and that's going on my lower lash line, just so I can see how all the shades in this palette go. Rightio, so now I actually need some shades on my inner corner because these aren't going to cut it, I don't think. So I'm going to take my brush and I'll just take a little bit. Actually, no, I forgot. I'm going to take the white shade in the middle here and put that on my inner corner just a little bit because I just want to see how well that brightens, because obviously I am darker tanned. I don't want to use too much of a white because then it looks a bit funny. I don't know if I like this concealer or not. Like around this area here, it's looking really textured. The more eyeshadow I'm putting on, the more it's like almost lifting it up. I don't have much space left on my camera, so I'm going to go and put some mascara on. Actually, first I'm just going to use this gel eyeliner. This I bought from Wish and it seems to be really nice. It feels really good quality. It is the Davis waterproof eyeliner in shade 1. It's just a black like gel based pencil. So I'm going to see how well this goes on my eyes. Okay, so it glided on really well, super black. It's really creamy. I'm a little bit worried it might be too creamy and it might wear off, but it went on really nice. For a cheap eyeliner, it's really nice. So now I'm going to put some mascara on and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have one last item and it is a lip product. I just had to sit here and let some lip balm soak on because my lips were really dry and I forgot to put it on earlier. So to go with this look, I'm going to use the NYX Liquid Suede Lipstick in Cherry Skies. I've worn this when I've done the swatch video, but I haven't actually worn it since. And I've noticed some of these wear off different to others. Some of them crumble, some of them just wear off, things like that. So I'm going to try this one today, also because I think it goes with my eyes. I've got sort of dark eyes and it's still winter today and it's actually cold. So I thought I'd use this today, so I'm just going to put that on. And there we go. So basically I am going to do a check-in later. Maybe it's only 3-4 hours, but I'm not going to do a huge check-in. But I'm going to later just to see how everything wears, particularly because the eyeshadow, things like that, how oily I get with the foundation, things like that. So I will see you guys in a few hours. I don't know how long that'll be, but I'll see you in a few hours. Rightio, so this is what my makeup looks like after, nearly 6 hours. I was only planning on doing like a 3 or 4 hour check-in, but time got away from me. I got very distracted and I am nearly asleep sitting here. I have just been watching videos, talking to people, things like that. And yeah, I had to reapply my lipstick a little bit. I took it off fully for when I ate my lunch because I cannot stand having anything on my lips. But this one seems to be one of the ones that's going to like stay creamy all day and sort of just wear. It doesn't seem like... So for example, the colour Sandstorm in the NYX range, it's the nude shade. It doesn't wear off like... It doesn't fade off, it like crumbles and goes really dry. So I can't wear that one like all day, but there's another couple of the ones like Soft Spoken, which is my other favourite. It wears off like this. So I've had this one on for like 3 hours. Haven't been actually talking with it on, but I can just tell how this one's going to fade. So yeah. Other than that, my eyeliner is still on. I'll just use this one up. From what I remember in my last one, it like faded really quickly, so I might buy these again. I buy them on Wish and they're like $2. They're free with $2 shipping. And you get a 2-pack. I might buy them just in case all of my eyeliners like are duds or I run out one time. I just have something there because obviously it hasn't faded, it hasn't cracked or anything, and it works. So that might be good. But as you can see, I'm a bit oily. I'm now at the stage where I would say I'm oily. I'm not dewy, I'm oily. I want to see how my forehead is. But I mean, I'm oily, but my foundation is all still on. And when I'm oily like this, I would just put some powder on and I could go out or film another video or something. So I'm not to the point where... This is probably the most oily I would go before I think about taking my makeup off and starting again. But the eyeshadows are nice. They've kind of creased a little bit, sort of bunched up, but everything is still on, so I'm fairly impressed with it, really. The concealer I wasn't too impressed with, but then again, I might try it on a day I'm wearing a slightly less flawless foundation. Because although I did put 2 layers on, it still went medium to natural full coverage. So if I put, say, 1 layer on or something, it might look like it matches. I hate the look of like flawless skin and like not flawless under eyes. I think that looks horrible. Just the same as I hate full coverage concealer and light coverage foundation. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. The eyeliner that was on my waterline seems to have stayed pretty well. It's worn off a little bit in the corner on this eye, but then again, I did have my finger here scratching. It's worn off a little bit on my eyes, but other than that, I'm not too upset with it. It hasn't melted or anything, which I'm very impressed with, considering it was like $2. I don't know if I'd classify it as the best eyeliner I've ever used. My Rimmel one does stay on for a little bit longer, but it was still nice. So the bronzer, the blush and the highlight, like it's sort of all melted into my oil at the moment, but it is all still on. I can see the bronzer, I can see the colour of the blush, I can see the stripe of the highlight. It's on my brow bone as well, and I quite like it. The colour for it I can only wear when I'm self-tanned, so I might buy the other colours to see. Blushes I'm okay with, but I don't really have many bronzers I can wear when I'm self-tanned because I don't self-tan that often and I'm only used to being really pale. So it's a good thing that I have one now, but overall I'm very happy with it. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with how my face looks right now, so I'll leave everything down below. The products that I used and everything like that. So thank you guys for watching. Please check out my social media sites down below. Hit the subscribe button that's in the corner down there, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!